This is the pen that President Biden used to sign Juneteenth into law. I'm Opal Lee, and I've had this marvelous day at the White House. The young people would say, it's off the chain. I knew I was coming because Juneteenth had been made a national holiday, and the president was signing the bill into law, and I was invited to the signing of that bill.
Looking out across this room, I see the advocates, the activists, the leaders who have been calling for this day for so long. including the one and only Miss Opal Lee.
Over the course of decades, she's made it her mission to see that this day came. She's walked for miles and miles, literally and figuratively, to bring attention to Juneteenth, to make this day possible.
You cannot imagine how joyful, how humble, how magnificent the whole thing has been. There may be some of you who don't know what Juneteenth is. The enslaved in Texas were told they were free for 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation freed them. They'd watch in their churches and they'd pray for freedom to come. And it finally did. When General Gordon Granger and 7,000 colored troops from New Jersey and New York made their way to Galveston, Texas. And he read General Order Number 3 that said all slaves are free. When those people came in from their labor and somebody read that to them, we started celebrating, and we've been celebrating ever since. Juneteenth is not a Texas thing. It's not a black thing. We're talking about freedom for everyone.
Woo! Come on and put your hands together for Juneteenth. And Opal Lee, who is the grandmother of the Juneteenth movement. Amen. Hallelujah. So today is a trifecta celebration. Yes, it's still Pride Month. Right? Today is Father's Day. Yes. And we are celebrating Juneteenth. So put your hands together and let's get it rolling. Come on, stand up on your feet. Stomp on it. Woo! Come on and get those
So that word Jehovah sometimes messes with some of our heads, and Jehovah is really just it's a Hebrew word for God. So pat yourself on the chest right here and go, I believe in you. I believe in you. This presence that dwells within you, through you, and as you are welcomed here in this space. My name is John Scott, at least that's what they tell me. And it's my honor to serve here as a spiritual leader along with all of you. Look at your neighbor and say, I think he's talking about you. I think you must be a spiritual leader. I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, to silence your phone, put it on vibrate. First-time visitors who are visiting online, I'm going to ask you to just type in the information. Just tell us where you're watching from. Maybe put in just an inspirational comment there and chat with us this morning. We welcome you in. In fact, I'm going to ask our local folk here, if you will, just a round of applause for those who are joining us around the world. We love you. We welcome you. Every Sunday, we offer different services. At 9 o'clock, we offer our chapel service, and that is in the chapel. Man, how many know that today the humidity here, you could cut with a chainsaw and have to change the chain about 4 times? I mean, it's, wow. I was like, you just walk out and whoop, need a shower. 9 o'clock is our chapel service. It's a little more mellow. Somebody say mellow. As you can tell by being here already, this is not real mellow. No, this is high octane. And then at 10:30 is our meditation, and then 11 o'clock is our celebration service. I'm going to ask you to do something here real quick, if you don't mind. I'm going to ask you if you would stand up just a moment, shake yourself just a little bit, let go of all that energy from this last week, let it go, let it go, let it go. Then look at somebody and say, wow, you are amazing. You are beautiful. You're gorgeous. You are brilliant. You are smart, intelligent, prosperous, wealthy, healthy. You are wise. I see God all over you and all in you. Now touch and agree. Find somebody you can high five, hug their neck, elbow bump them, tell them you're glad to see them here. First Unity today. I feel that vibration already. Everybody who's joining online, we send you this love. May you feel the vibration of this truth, this power unfolding in the earth. There's no limitations. There's no lack. There's only doubt to contend with, and so we contend with it by attending to our faith. And we honor you, those that are watching online, and we thank you for being here. Happy Father's Day. Those who are with us for the first time, I'm going to ask if you feel comfortable doing so after meeting everybody, if you'll just slip your hand up if you feel comfortable doing so. Our ushers right now want to share with you a Get Acquainted card. So if you're with us for the first time, anybody, thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, let's give a round of applause to those who are joining us. We have a gift we'd like to share with you. And I ask you to turn that Get Acquainted card in at the front desk, the desk that's right near the entrance here to the sanctuary as you leave out today. It is Juneteenth. Well, Juneteenth is technically tomorrow, right? But we're celebrating Juneteenth around here as well, and that is freedom for all. It's not just for blacks and for whites and for Latino and for Asian. It's for all people. So we celebrate freedom for everyone. Somebody say everyone. But Juneteenth is a celebration that we want to celebrate around here. We don't even need a reason to celebrate. We just like to look for them and celebrate. That's who we are. But it's also Father's Day. I also want to acknowledge those who's maybe had tense relationships with your fathers, or maybe didn't have any relationship with your father. And I want to say to you, thank you for showing up the way you're showing up in the world. To all of you fathers who have been fathers to children that did not have fathers, maybe you're a stepdad. I don't like to call them stepdads. I like to call them bonus dads. So any of you who are bonus dads, any of you ladies in the house who have also had to step into that position, we just wish you happy Father's Day to everyone who has been a father figure in anyone's life. So we had partnered with St. Pete Pride, and we've been a part of 2 Pride events already. But we have one coming up. It's the Pride Parade that's going to be in downtown St. Pete. How many are going to be a part of that? How many? Because I know a bunch of folks have signed up to be a part of that, to be a part of our booth as well. And so that is going to be next Saturday. Somebody say next Saturday. I will be there. All 5 of us. All right, that's great. But also, we have an event that's coming up next month. It's for mental health awareness. Believe it or not, all of us have mental. All of us. Some of us have run into times where our mental health has been challenged. Anybody? Yeah? Because that is a part of who you are. We're bringing awareness to that through an event called Love on Your Mind. Let me tell you one of the reasons we're doing this. Love on Your Mind gives you the ability to heal your mental well-being or bring yourself into a higher level of being instead of having fear on your mind. There's really kind of 2 forces in the world at play, and we're either going with fear or we're going with love. How many of you plan to go with love? So that's what we're doing. We are doing an event. It's an all-day event called Love on Your Mind. If you want more information about it, go to our events page. Now we're going to welcome back the voices. Come on, somebody here. Let's give it up for them.
You see, Billy got picked on in school for things he couldn't change. He tried his best to play it cool, but in the 7th grade, you either fit right in or you don't fit. That's just the cold hard truth. And I wish that I'd have been the friend that Billy never knew. I think it's time we come together, you and I can make a change. Maybe we could make a difference, make the world a better place. Look around and love somebody. We've been hateful long enough. Let the good Lord reunite us till this country that we love's undivided. Either go to church or you're gonna go to hell. Get a job, work, or you're gonna go to jail. I just kinda wish we didn't think like that. Why's it gotta be all white or all black? And when we gonna learn to try on someone's shoes sometimes? And when we gonna start to see from someone else's eyes? I think it's time we come together, you and I can make a change. Maybe we can make a difference, make the world a better place. Look around and love somebody. We've been hateful long enough. Let the good Lord reunite us till this country that we love's undivided. Oh yeah, undivided. Oh yeah, we're all the same to God, no matter what we get is love. And I'm tired of looking left or right, so I'm just looking up. I think it's time we come together, you and I can make a change. Maybe we could make a difference, make the world a better place. Look around and love somebody. We've been hateful long enough. Let the good Lord reunite us till this country that we love's undivided. Oh yeah, undivided. Oh yeah. Either go to church or you're gonna go to hell. Get a job, work, or you're gonna go to jail. I just kinda wish we didn't think like that. Why's it gotta be all white or all black?
I don't know. thank you to Jen, our Youth Expressing Spirit director. She put together that montage, that collage, so that you could see what those kids are doing upstairs while we're down here listening to Reverend John. So you can see that our Youth Expressing Spirit program is vibrant. We welcome all of the children who have joined us here today. We give thanks and blessings to all of the volunteers. And you will see everything they do is experiential, allowing Spirit to express through play. Today they're going to be working on day craft rock. They're going to be painting, and they're going to be working with all kinds of fun. Wouldn't you want to be up there? So no wonder they're always in a rush out of here. So now is my time where we can all energetically maybe put our hands over our hearts and just maybe, if you were a child who grew up in maybe a more rigid background, maybe just lovingly hold your own child within yourself, maybe allowing yourself the opportunity to express and to play as a grown-up, allowing the child within you. So right now in this moment, we honor and bless our children. We release them to their play. We ask that their joy and creativity always flow, knowing that this is the Spirit, the God, the divinity that is expressing within them. We bless their play, we bless their work, and we release and bless them, and so it is. And now let's find out what's happening across campus, our campus news.
Happy Sunday, First Unity family, and happy Pride Month. Carrie Bell Scott here, and this is your campus news. Support our Living Green Market vendors today outside along our main entrance and every third Sunday of the month. Our artist for the month of June is Sheila Maffitt, whose works are displayed and for sale in the hallway. Please support her amazing creativity. Visit our website for more information on how to get involved with our partnership with Pinellas County Child Welfare System Fostering Hope. Gifts of Spirit Class Level 1 continues on the Mondays throughout June and July at 7 p.m. in room 300. Dive deeper into unlocking your spiritual gifts and calling with Marlene Stovall. Register online or at the box office. Heart Opening Yoga and Cacao event is this Tuesday, June 20th, and is every third Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m. under the purple tent. Please register online. A Course in Miracles discussion group is every Tuesday at 7 p.m. in our lobby. Every Wednesday, we have a noon meditation with Reverend Dr. Aileen Curtin and 6 p.m. evening meditations with the various facilitators, sound bath artists, and Reiki practitioners. This Wednesday evening will be Don Cooper, and he will share with us his amazing array of gongs and other sounds. Join us here in the sanctuary for either of our meditations. The Journeyman Men's Group meets weeklies on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. in room 301. Soul Sisters Women's Group also meets every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. in room 300. We are proud sponsors for St. Pete Pride this year. We will have a booth at the Pride March this Saturday, June 24th. Join us as we spread our mission and honor our brothers and sisters with pride. Summer Solstice Celebration is Wednesday, June 21st at 7 p.m. in our sanctuary. Join us as we celebrate Mother Nature and the start of summer. Community Independence Day Cookout is Saturday, July 1st from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Free food, music, and fun for all. Volunteers are needed. Please see Ronnie in the office after service. Kindness Rocks painting will be on July 2nd and is every first Sunday of the month. Room 300 will host our July activity. Love on Your Mind Mental Health Awareness Brunch is Saturday, July 8th from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. in our sanctuary. Please register online or at the box office. Stop by our concession stand after service for a yummy treat. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Have an awesome week. I'll see you soon.
We have an interesting video for you today celebrating Father's Day. It's called Honest Conversations, Fathers and Their Gay Children.
I'll start. What did you think?
What did you think?
What did you think?
What did you think?
What did you think when I told you I was gay?
Thought you were kidding.
I didn't think anything because I knew it, and I just needed you to tell me it.
I felt relieved. I wasn't like dumbfounded, shocked, and surprised.
Right.
Did you have any fears after I told you I was gay?
Yes. Well, not fears of you, just fears for you, about people accepting you outside of your house.
I think society has progressed an awful lot, but naturally I had fears for you for being a victim of discrimination.
Were you scared to tell me you were gay?
I was petrified. I had known I was going to be in the city for 2 nights, and I had plans if you guys didn't want me to stay in the house with you anymore.
I can't believe you felt that way.
When did you first know I was gay, if ever? Remember, my favorite Power Ranger was the pink one. When did you first know I was gay?
When you were like 4 years old with a sheet wrapped around you singing Ella Fitzgerald. I mean,
There was times in life that I thought you were, especially when you would walk around the house singing show tunes. 'Cause
I had conversations with people who were involved in the gay and bisexual community really early on when you were little.
What?
and at that moment, I said to myself, oh shit, he's gay.
And said, oh, you know what?
That kid's gay?
That kid's gay.
Wow.
Was I one of the first or the last people you told, and why?
I guess you were kind of both, because I kind of came out all at once.
If you could set me up with one celebrity, who would it be and why?
Whoa.
What about like Brad Pitt from Thelma and Louise?
Oh, I don't like Brad Pitt.
That's why I'm gay and you're not.
You are such a unique, great guy. You are going to find the right person for yourself when you're not looking. And I don't give a shit about whether it's a celebrity or whether it's some guy who sweeps the streets. So I really can't find a good answer to that question.
Do you have any advice out there for dads who think their son might be gay?
Yes. Open up, ask them, talk to them, be honest, and let them know that you support them and love them no matter who they are.
It has nothing to do with them being gay. Pay attention to your kids.
No, you want the best for your child. You want to encourage them to be who they are. So if that's who they are, that's who they are. I mean, it's kind of simple.
Oh, happy Father's Day, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
I love you. What did you get me? Very good.
So today we have a song that we want to dedicate to fathers, to those of us who have our fathers with us still, and some of us whose fathers have transitioned, and the love never stops. Still, Dad. What do you think? Yes?
Yeah, agree.
Still, Dad.
Back when I was a child, before life removed all the innocence, my father would lift me up and dance with my mother and me, and then spin me around till I fell asleep. Then up the stairs he would carry me, and I knew for sure I was loved.
If I could get another chance, another one, another
When I and my mother would disagree, to get my way I would run from her to him. He'd make me laugh just to comfort me, then finally make me do just what my mama said. Later that night when I fell asleep, he left $1 under my sheet. Never knew that he would be gone from me.
I could steal one final glance, one final step, one final dance with him. I'd play a song that would never ever end, 'cause I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. Sometimes I'd sneak outside my door, and I would hear how she prayed for him. I prayed for her even more than me. I prayed for her even more than me. Let's dance with Dad for a minute. My dad was sanctified, so I better shout.
I'm not praying for much too much, but I would love just to feel his touch. I know you don't do it usually, but dear God, I'm longing to dance with my Father again. Every night I fall asleep, and this is all I ever dream. All I wanna do is dance with my Father again.
And now we go into the sacred part of our service, where there is only love. Our hymn for today is There Is Only Love, and then we will be ushered into the moment of meditation by Dr. Aileen. There is only love.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love when I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say that there is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only
Please receive Dr. Aileen as she takes us further into this moment of meditation.
Thank you, Wanda. And thank you, Lisa Nadeau, for those beautiful words. And now, as we enter our sacred centering time, our meditation time, we include and acknowledge always all prayer intentions from our prayer box that are always located at the back of the sanctuary. We acknowledge, affirm, and include all of your prayer intentions, those of you who join us every week online or watch us later on in the week. And just always a reminder for those of you here present, those of us who wear stoles, whether pink or purple, or ministers, prayer chaplains, will always hold sacred space with you. So you can just tap us on the shoulder if you need some time at the end of this service. And also, just a reminder, I offer Wednesday meditation every noon here in the sanctuary. And so now, as we settle into our space here today, many of us, as I'm aware, our fathers are in the spirit world, or maybe we didn't have the best of relationships with our fathers, or maybe you had an adopted father, or maybe you had a mother who was a father to you. I'll ask you today to dedicate your breath to your dad, maybe going to your heart space. Maybe it's your mom who was your dad. Maybe you can conjure up a favorite memory, or maybe in the words of Thich Nhat Hanh that I'm sharing with you today, realizing that our fathers and our mothers are in every cell of our bodies. And so when we move into a meditative space like this, we can invite them into our practice. We can invite them to meet us in our heart space. And we can free ourselves from any limiting beliefs, whatever was in our relationship. And we can both be freed in this beautiful space of the Anahata heart. And so now, as you gently close your outer eyes or bring them to a soft gaze, maybe you can feel your father as you're sitting here on the chair or wherever you are. And breathing in as you feel your father's back. Breathing out, feeling your father or your mother's back. Next inhale breath as you breathe in, maybe inviting your father to breathe in with you. And as you breathe out, breathing out, aware that your father is breathing out with you. So continue now as you breathing in with my father's lungs. Lengthening the breath and releasing and breathing out with my father's lungs. And just take a few moments to feel your father. Maybe it's your mother. Feeling them in every cell of your body. Just feeling their DNA that is still here within you. maybe the love that never dies. The love is always here within you. Just continue to follow your breath here, breathing in and out to whomever you've dedicated your breath to. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, we feel light and ease together, you and I. And breathing out, we smile as we know that we are each other's teachers. Following the breath, breathing in and out, allowing the heart space to expand. And with each exhale breath, letting go of should-haves, wishes, anything limiting that we're holding on about what our relationship should have been, could have been, knowing that our relationship is right now in this moment. As we connect here in the heart space, the spiritual heart, maybe placing your hand over your heart, the Anahata heart that is back of the physical heart, is the heart that loves unconditionally, the heart that is never hurt, never broken, the heart that sees in every individual only love. And it is now in this space that we can breathe in and out, feeling light and ease together. Maybe now seeing my Father in me. And in this space now, releasing one another as we let go of old family limitations and awaken together to the divine harmony that we are, knowing that we chose one another, we chose our relationship to grow, and in this moment we are limitless and free. So stay in this heart space, and whatever it is that you need to communicate or to release or let go, use your exhale breath here to go beyond the physical, to transmute, to transcend any limiting beliefs, and settle here in the awareness that there is only love. Next inhale breath beginning to lengthen, feeling light and ease as you inhale and fill up. And then as you exhale, maybe smiling as you release, feeling the freedom, the lightness in your relationship here in this moment. This is the peace that we seek. It's always here within us. The power to change, the power to begin again. So slowly, slowly now, as you begin to lengthen your inhales, your exhale breaths, bringing awareness back to your body again. Maybe feeling your father or your mother as you sit. Feeling your father in every cell of your body. And now giving thanks and gratitude. So whether your father is in spirit or somewhere else, or maybe right beside you today, just know in this space and place, we always connect here in the heart. So give thanks and gratitude to whomever you dedicated your breath to. And slowly now, as you begin to come back to this room, as you wiggle your fingers, your toes, maybe slowly now beginning to open your eyes and allow the smile to cross your face. And just look around the room as you energetically shared so many fathers, grandfathers here today. We give thanks and gratitude on this today, Father's Day, and all fathers. We bow our heads, honoring one another as we say together, Namaste.
Open a U.S. history book, and chances are its author will quickly point out January 1st, 1863, the date President Abraham Lincoln, with one proclamation, orders and declares that all persons held as slaves shall be free. What that same history book might fail to mention is what happened to these words once they arrived on the shores of Galveston, Texas, more than 2 years after Lincoln wrote them. In the 1860s, word didn't travel like it did now. And in 1865, months after General Robert E. Lee's surrender, word of the end of the Civil War had yet to hit the southern state and its 250,000 slaves. And then came General Gordon Granger's arrival in Galveston, June 19, 1865, and General Order Number 3, all slaves are free. Juneteenth was born. While Juneteenth celebrations continued to varying degrees in the U.S. for decades, it would take until 1980 for Texas to become the first state to declare it a holiday. Today, 47 states recognize it and the District of Columbia. A chapter of our history, for far too long left out of the books designed to document it. But no longer. Juneteenth, or as the National Museum of African American History and Culture now calls it, our country's second Independence Day.
Yeah. And you know, just as important as the freedom of your bodies and your human self to be free to live your life is the freedom of your soul and of your mind. So look at your neighbor right now and say, neighbor, you are not a slave to the systems of this world. You are free. I'm calling you free today. Let's make that a holiday. Yeah. There's so much going on in our world. Have you noticed? Have you noticed? How about y'all? You noticed? And for some, it can be daunting. You know, it can be sort of discouraging. You know, we've hit some milestones lately as a democratic republic. And this experiment that's called the United States of America. And I'm really but I'm going to tell you, I think the shaking up is so important. We're shook now, which brings us to a better position to gather in this awakening. I don't know about you, but every part of my being is waking up. Like every part is just waking up. I've told some of you about my history. The history is far less important than the mystery. But my history is steeped in very strict fundamentalist Christian evangelical Pentecostal. Hallelujah. Hey, Shanda. And I actually finished watching a documentary this last week on, it was a documentary, I don't remember who did it. It was on Prime, but it was about the Duggars. I remember the Duggar family. Do you remember them on TLC or Discovery? It was one of them. I don't know. Maybe it was both of them. Who knows? They discovered and they went on TLC. But they had a show at one time. It was called 19 and Counting. 19 children. Same mom, same dad. What? I have 5 as far as I know. Holy Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. 19? Well, I didn't know until I watched the documentary. I didn't know the group that they were a part of, the religious group that they were a part of, that, I got to be honest with you, watching it was a little triggering for me. I grew up and went to church and went to homeschool group with 4 of the families involved with that group, with directly influenced. And in fact, a couple of the folks who were named in the lawsuit against Bill Gothard and his group are friends of mine. I texted them, was like, hey, I just heard your name on this documentary. Have you seen this documentary? Well, they participated in the documentary to help with information. But this whole thing, this whole experience was really, they were strongly indoctrinated to believe a particular way. All of us have also been indoctrinated. Some of us osmosis, whoever he is. Some of us osmosis just because we've been around it. And then others really steeped in a lot of the theological enslavement of a God who is an angry God and who's judgmental. And I came I believe I came into this world to experience all of that, to come out on the other side and tell you there's freedom. There's freedom. You can live free. You can be completely free. I used to dislike it. I used to be angry about it. In fact, I did an angry podcast called The Holy Heretics, just to get under their skin. You know what I mean? And a friend of mine and I took on a lot of those doctrines around hell and eternal torment and holiness and what it meant, and the rapture theology and the end of days and the raising up the army of God stuff. And I don't know if you know this or not, but they're still working on that. They actually have a tactical military type army of God in this country. They're still training them, And so when I look at that, believe me, watching it, again, it brought back some really interesting memories about how close to that whole system we were. And I was homeschooled for some of my life. I didn't always like my teachers, but and they didn't always like me. And I got to thinking about because we're in the rising in the consciousness theme, and more specifically, conscious keys for living a creative rather than a reactive life, and how some of that tied in this last week for me. Because I was taught growing up, pray, have enough faith, and God might heal you, or God might give you prosperity, or God might give you a good marriage, or God might not reject you. You know, maybe you could go in the rapture. We used to do rapture practice at church, no joke, in our youth group, where they would say that somebody would make a sound of a trumpet and we'd all jump. Like, I'm not joking when I say that. They called it rapture practice because they told us, because we were Pentecostal Christians, we were more special, and we had a ticket for the first class flight out. John, you remember any of that? Rapture practice? No, you didn't. You weren't. No, I think I'm practicing for rupture practice. Anyway, the birthing forth of something new, really. But I started thinking about how much we would pray, Steve, and we would pray, and we hoped God would listen to us. And even in New Thought, there's this sense of I'm working with something off in the future. In fact, a lot of us, when we start talking about prosperity and abundance and healing and health and well-being, a lot of us kind of have this future thinking about it, like it's going to happen in a future moment, or if situations will line up the way I need them to, or if the conditions are right, then I'll be able to make this happen. And so I wanted to chat with you today about going from anticipation to participation, because anticipation and participation are two different things. And I'm inviting us, because we talk about these unity principles. We've heard unity and New Thought and Centers for Spiritual Living principles for a long time. We've had people like Deepak Chopra. We've had people like Marianne Williamson. We've had people like Wayne Dyer and Eckhart Tolle, and of course Charles Umberto Fillmore, Ernest Holmes, and the list goes on and on and on, that have been declaring some things to us that we didn't hear in fundamentalist religious experiences or expressions. And we say we believe it, but I'm not quite sure. I think some of us are still in anticipation about something in a future moment that might happen. But I'm asking us, and I believe the universe is inviting us into participation. Somebody say, I am a participant. I don't want to sit on the sideline. I don't want to watch a game play out. Put me on the field, coach. Somebody say, put me in, coach. I'm moving from that anticipation and into participation. And we skipped ahead just a little bit, so run it back for me just a second. Run it back for me there. Anticipation, next one. Anticipation is the act of looking forward or looking for a future event, waiting for something to happen. I'm just waiting on the Lord. No, you're waiting on your seat to do nothing. Get up. You're putting your weight all on that seat. Get up. Or for instance, one day I'll have an abundant life. One day when Mr. and Miss Right comes into my life, I'll have a happy life. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. And I told you last week, stop looking for Mr. Right or Miss Right. They don't exist. Become the person, the accurate showing up of who you are, the authentic self, and then you'll attract into your life the very same vibration because you attract into your life at the level of your vibrational frequency. So people are still waiting for a healthy mind while still watching Fox and CNN. Good luck. It doesn't make sense, but it makes them a lot of dollars. They're selling us on fear, and they're selling us on separation and division instead of unifying together around what is correct and what is accurate and the authentic unfoldment of who we are. So we're waiting on, waiting on the world to change. Love you, John Mayer, but I'm not waiting on the world to change. I came to be a world changer. So anticipation, you could say it's a little bit of part of it. Maybe, apparently it has been. It's a part of our evolution. But here it is. Participation is the act of taking part, doing my part. Instead of saying I love you, I show you I love you. I show up as joy. I show up as peace. I show up as abundance. I'm a giver, not a taker, because I'm living love, not fear. I'm participating, taking my part in this thing that has been put into my life. I was coated and loaded with the God kind of presence. Good God Almighty, I feel it already in my bones. So you could even call participation partnership, which implies a certain level of responsibilities, but it also implies a certain level of rights and benefits. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, you have a right to the kingdom of God and all that that includes. You have benefits. You're waiting on your job to give you corporate benefits because you want to be able to have insurance to be insured so that the people a part of a sick care system can keep you sick long enough to give you more dope instead of hope. And so we have given up our benefit of health and well-being. I'm in a partnership with Source. An active partnership with Source. And I promise you, there is no better business to be in than with Source because Source can't go bankrupt. So often we pray and then we anticipate rather than participating in the process towards what we've prayed for or prayed about. Somebody shout this, I'm a participant. And so next, I am, yes. People who are actively participating in their own unfoldment, proactive rather than reactive. Say, I'm proactive, not reactive. I refuse to react to the stuff that's going on around me. I refuse to react to it. I have become a responsible being. To react is to be influenced by what's transpiring outside of me because it's to act in kind. It's to enter into the volley of a game that you'll always lose. When you're reacting, you're not giving yourself time to respond through the divine nature that you are and that you have. And so I choose to stop reacting. Stop reacting to your spouse every time they pull the same trigger they've pulled before. Unload the gun first and then remove the trigger. One of the best ways to unload the gun is to look at your spouse and say, you're right about that. For the first time. When you say it, when you say it, they're probably going to lose their mind because they've been used to going down a neural pathway of arguing with you about how they are right. But if you tell them they're right, what do they have to argue with? Well, they might say you don't mean it, but then follow it with, you are right about that. Anyway, no. Or you could respond simple with, I've been thinking about what you've been saying. I'm going to put more thought into that. Instead of needing to be right, move toward kindness. All right. Reactive people are driven by their feelings and by circumstances, by conditions, by their environment. Proactive people are driven by values. Carefully thought about, selected and internalized values. So says Dr. Stephen Covey. I am driven by values. And what do I value? I value the pure presence that dwells within me, through me, and as me. And I consult that inner guidance system every single day because I got tired of running into the same walls. Anybody else got bruises from running into those same walls, the patterns over and over again, over and over? If you want to break the cycle, then start trusting the inner guidance system that dwells within you called the Holy Spirit. Now, I'm not saying that proactive people don't sometimes react to stuff. I'm not saying that we're not affected by outside stimuli. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're not a proactive person because you lifted a certain finger in traffic this last week. I didn't come here to dog you out because you had a fuss with your spouse yesterday about which beer to buy. I am not saying that you might not sometimes react to external stimuli. I'm talking about a practice of the difference between being affected and being infected. Walking around with the infection that is built by your ego to make you separate from other people. There's a difference in being affected and being infected. Somebody say, I will not be infected any longer. I call myself healed and whole. I know somebody said one time, they said, you make us talk all the time. Why do you make us talk? Because it's your ears that need to hear your voice. You are the prophetic voice of your life. The best this guy can do is point to it and then ask you to declare it over your own life because you might like the sound of my voice, you might not, but your voice is the one you're most familiar with. And you're declaring stuff over your life already. I'm just trying to help us with a new narrative. Anybody? So, I am not reactive, I am proactive. And I've stopped living accidentally. I've decided to live intentionally. Going through life accidentally, wondering why you stay bruised all the time. What do accidents lead to? Wonder why life is cutting you open. What do you think an accident is? I've decided to be intentional. Instead of waiting for your ship to come in, decide you're going to launch out to the sea of all that's possible right now. Instead of being harbored in somebody else's conditioning and way of being. Stop waiting for the ship to come in. You are the ship. Woo! That's why they call it fellowship. Anyway, go out into what is available to you. Instead of sitting in the spectator's seat, rise up into your rightful involvement so that you can find your evolvement. If you get involved with Spirit, you will evolve with Spirit, which means you will be in tandem and in step with the Holy Spirit in your life, and then nothing shall be impossible to them who believe. I'm feeling more and more Pentecostal every week. I don't know why y'all pull it out of me. It's like I think we call it Xanacostal, don't we? Xanacostal. My papa, Daddy Carlton, calls it Metacostal. beyond. So the power of intention is the power to manifest. It's the power to create. It's the power to live a life that's unlimited and filled with abundance. Look, you're all people who work with me closely, staff, board. Sometimes I know y'all wonder, about me. You're like, okay, I love him. I think he's nuts, though. He's crazy. He really believes this stuff. The poor naive fella. Telling you the fulfillment of these crazy ideas and visions are already on their way. And when they show up, I'm not going to say, I told you so. There's an ego part of me that's going to want to do that. But the greater part of me is going to celebrate with you because we are magic people. We are manifesting tools. We are a mechanism filled with God goodness. Oh man, you have so much power in you. If you only knew, you might blow up on the world just a little. The power of intention is the power to manifest what you want. Stop thinking about what you don't want. Think about what you do want, because what you think about is what you bring about. So when's the last time you slowed down to think about what you're thinking about? That was really country. That was country. I loved it. When my wife's country twang comes out, oh, she said, yeah. All right. That's what she said at our wedding instead of I do. Yeah. Actually, that's what I said, but all right. Set your intention and then give your attention to it, and stop letting other people and things draw you off course. Stop letting other stuff distract you from what you know is the truth. If you know it's the truth, stand on the truth and watch it unfold in your life. Stop being distracted by all of the stuff that's showing up. Set your intention and then give your attention. If you're too poor to pay attention, it's because you've been giving your attention to the wrong stuff. Pay attention to what you've set in your intention. Cultivate a purposeful way of being on purpose. Somebody said this. Call your own name. You know, I'd like to get you to pat yourself on the chest. You know why? Open your heart chakra. Call your own name and say, you showed up here on purpose. John, you showed up here on purpose. This is not a mistake. This is not a mistake. You showed up here on purpose. The reason you're here at this time in history is because you're a part of the ingredients of what's going on now. I want you to think about that. You are not just an idea in the heart and in the mind of God, but you are a part of the very ingredients of this current world and the way it's supposed to be structured. The reason you're experiencing being awakened is because you're a part of, listen, you're a cell within the body of humanity that's waking up. Isn't that amazing that you showed up here on time? You're not accidental. Out of all of the sperm that did not get to the egg, you got to it. You're a miracle. The fact that you even showed up here in this human form is miraculous. He just used that word. I'm uncomfortable now. Why? It's what you originated as. Cultivate a life that's purposeful and watch your life unfold with intention instead of with accident. Show up and show out the marvelous works of God. Woo! Iman. Yes. We're here to show forth the marvelous works of God. Carolyn, guess what? You are here to show up the marvelous works of God. And nobody can do it quite like you can. So please do your part. Do your part. Do your part. Lalo, you're here to show forth the marvelous works of God. And nobody can do it quite like you can. Careful now. Careful. Careful. Ushers, can I get some? No, all of us are here to show up and be the marvelous work of God. You're not just an idea that stayed stuck in the mind of God. You manifested here for a reason and for this season. My God, folks, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited. Somebody said, we noticed. So then I believe that people who are participating are people who are no longer adapting to survive, but choosing to thrive. Not adapting. To adapt is to adjust to new conditions. If the one who is the same yesterday, today, and forever If the one who is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the one who stares at the start and stares at the end, if that one dwells within you, then there's nothing new under the sun. You have nothing to adapt to. You just need to show up and thrive instead of trying to survive. If you're trying to adapt, it's because you believe you don't fit in. And I came to tell you, you don't have to fit in because you belong here. You belong. I'm saying that we can start creating the conditions we want in advance rather than reacting. You know, with the advent of quantum physics, epigenetics, and other such sciences, they've been able to prove what sages have known for generations and millennia. That you're not a victim of your circumstances. Fathers, how does this tie into Father's Day? Fathers and mothers, fathers, you donated somewhere between 13 and 14,000 strands of DNA to your children. Mothers, about the same number. So close to 30,000, 27-ish thousand DNA cells dedicated, donated to your children. Did you know that you, as a human being, you have part of your parents' DNA in you? This is why some people will say, oh my God, you look just like your dad. Or, oh my God, you look just like your mom, right? That's what people will say. Did you know you have 300 trillion cells in your body? So the small portion is what was donated to you and can affect maybe how tall you'll grow, maybe affect the color of your eyes, the color of your hair, maybe affect the shape of your nose or your eyes or your ears, maybe affect some of these external things. But it is a lie that they could pass down their sickness to you and that you automatically are going to become sick because they were. That is not the truth. They did not. There's only, according to new science, there's only about 6 inheritable diseases. And guess what? Cancer is not one of them. So when you go to the doctor's office and you're filling out this forms, you know, and they ask you, do you have heart disease and cancer in your family? And do you have move right on past the fear. Move right, because you cannot inherit cancer from your mom and dad. You cannot inherit diabetes. What we often inherit is a traded down belief system and acts and conditions of our environment, and we perpetuate the same practice, which brings on the same sicknesses. But it is a lie that you have to be reactive the rest of your life. You can be proactive in your life. You can decide that you're going to thrive and that you're going to call on your cells to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. There's 300 trillion cells in your body. 99.9% of them is empty space. You need to start writing your story instead of your history. Stop writing his story or her story. Write your story on your cells, and you determine to rise above it. That's what epigenetics means, above the gene. I am not a victim of my circumstance. I do not have to adapt to an antiquated system, and I refuse to. I will write my own story, and this is why I call myself healthy, wealthy, wise, and filled with all good things. We're not meant to survive. Life is not meant to be survived. I remember testimony times at church. Good Lord, sometimes. Well, y'all pray for me. I know God can heal me, but he won't. Wow. Funny story, I'll tell y'all, because I'm not sure they laugh about it. Funny story. There's an old country preacher at Oconee Church of God in Oconee, Georgia, population 250. 150 of them lived in the nursing home. And the church resembled it. This lady, she was one of those that would testify. And the preacher called on her, or preacher opened up for testimonies, and she stood up, which was her norm. This was her moment of fame. And she said, preacher, y'all pray for me. I know God can heal me, but he won't. And she said, and every time I cross my legs, I get a headache. Y'all pray for me. The preacher said, stop crossing your legs. Before he could stop it, it came out, stop crossing your legs if you get a headache. It was just simple for him anyway. I thought I'd share that with you because I thought it was a fun, stop crossing your legs. But there's a lot of people that believe we're walking around as victims. And we allow ourselves to be victimized by a system that's in place to keep us conditioned to live just beneath our privilege. If we can keep you brainwashed long enough to buy into this system, you'll get everybody else. Look, in this country, in China, in Japan, in Germany, in Russia, it started in Russia. They literally had a group of psychiatrists come into their leadership and teach them how fear keeps them in charge, how fear keeps them in power. And they have learned it very well in conjunction with the media that becomes the access to your ears and to your eyes. And then we decided to go with social media, where people actually believe if it's posted on Facebook, it's true. It's not. But they want to stay in power. And then preachers could have taught them a whole course in it, because they've kept power for a long time through fear, just by telling people that if you get right with God, you don't have to go to hell. But look, I'm going to oversimplify it, and then I'm going to get out of your way today. When I was a kid, essentially this was the teaching. God would say to you, I love you. Do you love me? Well, yes, I've never seen you. Don't know where you're at, but sure, I love you. And then God pulls the big gun, and the gun is held to your head and basically says to you, I love you, and you better love me, because if you don't, I'm going to cook you in hell for eternity. That is a dysfunctional relationship, and it's not the God of the universe, and we need to get that God off of the throne of our minds. I think I'm just going to do a whole series and invite all of our fundamentalist friends around here to come. And the title of it's going to be, Get the Hell Out of My Life. Because I refuse to believe in that. It's evil. It's evil, and it's been used to manipulate our minds for long enough. And we still have those remnants left over. Even in the New Thought movement, we still have those remnants. Because if you can still feel guilt and shame and be triggered by religious things, there's still things we're shaking off. Somebody say, I'm shaking it all off, though. I'm shaking it off. I'm shaking it off. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. We are not victims of our circumstances. We're not victims of the DNA or the external elements. I refuse to believe that. I will no longer try to adapt. I will not try to survive. I choose to thrive. In fact, I'm going to ask you to declare this boldly. I choose to thrive, not just survive. One more time. I choose to thrive, not just survive. And so it is. Come on and give God a hand and give yourself a hand. Yeah, I choose. My choice. I choose to thrive, not just survive. Man. Yes. Woo. I think we're getting this. I think we're getting this. And every need is being supplied. I choose to thrive. And in this attitude, we are thriving as a community. This attitude, it's time for our spiritual investment, our offering time. And I'm going to ask our ushers if they would have come forward. And this time I'm also going to say that we do have a need for more ushers, okay? We do have a need for some more ushers. We have a lot of our folks who serve in this community who go north during the summer. And we need some, can we get some folks that are Sunshine State all the time ushers? Let's say, nothing against our wonderful Snowbird family. We love you, but I know Kathy could use some more volunteers. This is Kathy Vestley, and she leads our ushers ministry. So if you're willing to help, it's not a lot of work, not a lot of duties. If you're willing to help, please see Kathy after the service. Today, if you're willing to invest in this community, I know for a fact that this is beautiful energy to give into. This is an energy of love. This is an energy of abundance and prosperity. The ways to give are on the screen. Text to give. You can text the word give and the amount to 833-691-6105. You can go to the First Unity app and you can tap on the yellow heart. And also want to let you know that you can go to firstunity.org/give. That includes auto giving, which means you don't even have to think about it. You can decide, hey, this is an amount that we're going to pledge from our family to give to this community as a sustaining partner. You can write that amount in and it automatically is deducted so that you don't even have to think about it. Also, you can mail a check or a money order to the campus, and I want to say thank you. There's some amazing things happening, folks. I'm telling you, some really cool stuff. And the thing is every week until we get to the next step, I can't say all of it because there's some confidential things that are happening. Suffice it to say, all of this stuff I've been talking about manifesting, it's already happening. The wheels are turning. Every single week, something else is turning over. Every single week, because it's that season. I'm going to ask you to stand for the abundance prayer, if you would, and let's declare this together. The abundance of God is my infinite source. I now open my mind and my heart to give and to receive all God's good, all God's prosperity, all God's abundance. As God is my source, all things are possible. So it is. All right. Thank you for giving. I'm going to invite the voices to come on back.
Hello, lovely. If you believe within your heart, you know that no one can change the path that you must go. Believe what you feel and know it's right, because the time will come around when you'll say it's yours. Believe you reason to believe you can float on air. All right, I don't have a time for another costume change. Come on, children. This is really in honor of my father. By this you shall know what true love is. Help me. Showing the world our unity. That's what true love is. True love is manifesting light throughout the world. Yeah. That's what true love is. Here we grow together. Here we grow together. Here we grow together. Here we grow. Get stand up on your feet. We on our way out. Come on, tenors. Growing together is what we do. All over the room, sing tenors. Growing
what we do.
All right, come on, alto. Grow, grow is what we do. All over the room, alto, sing. Grow, grow is what we do. All right, sopranos. Growing together. Woo. Growing together is what we do. Let me hear you. Growing together. Yes. Pinch your nose. Growing together is what we do. Together. Put it all together.
Growing together is what we do. Growing together is what we do. Growing together is what we do.
Every day growing together.
Growing together is what we do.
Here we grow.
Here we grow together. Here we grow together. Here we grow together. Here we grow
Wanted a good witch to put on a few pounds since she had this on last. Here we go. Come on. Our prayer surrender. The
light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us.
I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Go out and have the best week ever because